What big changes are you making to predator-free 2050?
Well, one of the big changes I can announce today is we're going to add feral cats to the predator-free list. I'm really looking forward to seeing them on that list because they can be stone-cold killers of birds, skinks, invertebrates, and bats, and a whole range of other animals that actually are part of our environment.
Why are you announcing this now? Because in a statement I received earlier this month from you, there was no mention of including feral cats.
Well, the decision was made to add them a couple of weeks ago. Maybe when you sent that question through, we hadn't got to that moment in time and that decision point, and we took in a lot of advice. We got a lot of submissions, but ultimately when you look at the situation, nature's in trouble, and one of the big contributors, of course, is feral moggies out there being very naughty and killing a lot of our native birds, skinks and other things.
Did the Prime Minister have any input in the timing of the announcement today, given that promise he made in the 2023 election debate?
No, we've gone through a consultation process, we've had submissions, and actually I came to that decision a couple of weeks ago, maybe just after you posed those questions.
What exactly is a feral cat in your mind?
A feral cat is a cat that's wild, it's living independently. It's not very sociable, it doesn't really hang with humans, and it basically is out there killed to survive. That's different from a companion cat or stray cat. Stray cats are often companion cats that have just lost their owner or lost their buddy. So feral cats are far more independent and wild than companions.
Was not including them in the proposal, like recommending they be included, was that a bit of a misread of the room in terms of what people want?
Well, I think feral cats, mice and hedgehogs have been discussed for many, many years around including them in the predator-free list. And for me, as the Minister of Conservation, listening to the concerns of people, we have to deal with a lot of challenges to biodiversity, whether or not that's things like wild end pines and wild end conifers or calloopa, and of course we've got these stone-cold killers like feral cats and stoats, and if you ever had the opportunity to try and catch one of these guys, it's not easy. They don't just walk into an ice cream shop and order a double scoop. They are hard to catch at times, and so including them on the list can give a bit of an elevation in the minds of conservation and other groups. It can help focus some of the funding allocation towards the elimination and the eradication of feral cats, and also give a bit of a spark to the innovation that's going on to help kill these animals.
What does some of the innovation to achieve this look like?
Well, some of our team down at Te Papa Atawhai with some innovators are looking at different types of methods to get at and eradicate these feral cats. One of them is, we call it a spit poison or a spray poison, where cats might be going past a tree and they get sprayed with some poison, and then all of a sudden they have to start scratching themselves and that poison gets into their bodies, and then voila, kua mate, the cat passes away. There's some sausage bait, different types of sausage bait that are put into 1080 that can be used to really focus on cats. And don't forget, they're carriers of some pretty nasty disease as well, toxoplasmosis and other disease that can cause issues for our farmers with animals and of course with humans. So there's multiple reasons why we're going after these guys, but ultimately biodiversity is at the top of the pyramid there.
So the proposal was saying, look, we won't put feral cats, this is the proposal for the updated strategy, in the recommendations at the moment because it's beyond capabilities, and now they're included. And that proposal I think was put together by the Department of Conservation.
Sure.
What advice have you had on including feral cats now, which has sort of changed things?
Well, I think there's been a bit of feedback and a few submissions. I also think that ultimately I recognise the scale of the problem with feral cats, like losing 17 skinks to one cat in Canterbury. That's not a good thing for our environment. It's not good for our tile, and so taking action, sometimes that, and often it does follow the recommendations and the informed advice of DOC, and sometimes you've just got to draw the line in the sand and say, no, we're going after these feral cats, not companion cats. I've got 2 of those myself. We're not going to get rid of those guys.
We'll come to those in a minute. So you've sort of mentioned toxic baits. How are we going to go about eradicating feral cats then by 2050?
Well, there's a number of ranges and methods, but importantly, engaging with community groups and people who are specialists in this field is the first step. There may be other options in the future, like genetic options or genetic solutions that can help reduce and eliminate any of these predators. Those are yet to be found, of course. But those are the sorts of discussions that I have with different specialists, with different experts in that field, people like Sir Peter Gluckman, who have pretty interesting science, evidence-based ideas on how to deal with some of the most confronting challenges to our environment.
Just in practice, so once they're on the list, what will the difference be? What will people see happening?
Well, there'll be an elevated focus and planning around eliminating and eradicating feral cats. There's a real strong focus. Once you're on the list, you get increased focus within the DOC teams around, okay, what's our strategy now to eliminate or eradicate these noxious and difficult species. With that also will come some shifts or some adjustments in how things are funded.
Do you think adding them to the Predator-Free 2050 strategy is going to upset some people?
I don't think that many people will be upset. I think what people will be concerned about is to make sure that there's a distinction between, our companion cats and our buddy cats, our morkai, and feral cats, because we don't want the buddy cats getting caught up in the eradication campaign. And that's very important. For me, of course, I'm a cat lover myself, companion cat lover.
So this is really interesting because it's the first time we've had a common pet species included in Predator-Free 2050. So, it brings up some different challenges.
Yes, it does.
Going to be any other measures introduced to address that, like say microchipping or desexing for a companion cat?
It's pretty topical, very topical. A lot of people across a number of parties have asked me about that particular issue, and of course Barbara Kuriga, the hardworking Taranaki King Country MP, has been pretty hot on that topic as well. So that's for another day, and I'm sure that our government at some stage will look at that more intensely.
Can you tell me a bit about your cats?
My cats?
Yes.
Yes, I've been a cat owner for many, many years. My first cat, his name was Sifa cat. He was a little black and white guy, and now I've got two cats. One's a ranga, a ginger cat, or genga. His name's Haku. He's a great little cat, but causes all sorts of grief. He does participate in pest control around the house from time to time, catching rabbits and mice, and fortunately for us, bringing them inside from time to time. And we've got a three-legged cat. She's a tabby grey. Her name is Scout, but for some reason, some people think her name is Gout. Scout. And she too, amazingly, can catch animals, even though she's got 3 legs. Both of them were rescue cats.
And as a cat lover, have you got any qualms about feral cats being targeted in Predator-Free 2050?
No, I don't. But I want to make sure that my cats have the relevant microchips, which they do, and they're looked after, and there's a very clear distinction between companion cats and, of course, feral cats.